gosh, I cannot get this freaking thing right. Oh, yo, what's good? So today I just kind of wanted to yap about ULTRAKILL, especially since that new layer just came out like yesterday, like last night, right as I lost access to my computer because I had to friggin' go to bed, so I didn't get to be on my computer and play the new layer. But I guess I'm gonna just run through a little bit of tiny little history of ULTRAKILL and just talk about my experiences with the game and why it's so friggin' awesome. And maybe I can convince you to, get your hands on it. So, having been inspired by Doom and Devil May Cry, ULTRAKILL is just one of those games that you either think is fun as heck, like you think it's fun as fuck, or you think it's just too much, right? But for me, right, like it's fast-paced, low poly, and it gives you a rank at the end of a level. Like, am I the only one who will repeatedly retry a level on my first run-through of a game just to get a better rank, even if I suck ass because I just started? Like, on my first run-through of ULTRAKILL, I'm pretty sure I got through the prelude in like 2 to 3 hours because I kept trying to get an A or an S rank because I finished the level and I would like B or C rank or like a D rank, and I'd be like, nah, that's ass, and then I just wouldn't let myself progress. But now I want to mention that I had an alternate version of this video that I started back in like July or some shit. I had a script and I even recorded some footage, and it was going to be the first in a series on ULTRAKILL where I went through the game like one act at a time. But due to my computer being an old ass piece of shit, I will revisit that some other time. And instead I just kind of want to yap about how awesome this game is and hopefully convince you to, again, buy it if you haven't already. So I want to preface this by saying that my experience with shooters amounts to me playing Doom 93, Doom 2, some of 64, some Fortnite. I don't like Fortnite. I don't like Fortnite. Some COD zombies with a friend at their house. It was okay. And this game, so I don't really have much in the way of shooter experience. However, I will testify, this game is fucking fun. Now this summer, a friend of mine was nice enough to get me ULTRAKILL, and I played it, and I knew right from the get-go that I would get addicted. I would talk about it all the time, even before I've like downloaded the game. This game is just so fun because the answer to most questions that you ask is yes. Can I punch the coin? Yes. Can I shoot my exploding rail cannon and exploding shotgun core at the exploding shotgun core for the biggest boom? Yes, you can make massive boom. It's one of the most freeing experiences I've ever had in a video game because the game doesn't hold your hand. It'll tell you how to do one thing and let you go from there. It'll give you a weapon and tell you how to use it, like its basic ability, and then just let you experiment. And there are also countless guides and shit you can find online of people being like, yo, I figured out that you can just do this thing, right? So if you don't really want to just like spend all day in the sandbox, you can look shit up. But it gives this video some proper direction because I'm kind of rambling, I'm going off script, and briefly discuss each section of the game. I'll just do that, and just so you can get an idea of what's going on, I'm just going to give a brief summary of like every level, but enough so where like you can still play it and, not feel like you know everything about it. So the game starts off with a boot up sequence where you pick your settings, and you see the tagline of the game, mankind is dead, blood is fuel, and hell is full. And your current objective is to find a weapon. So you get dropped into a quick little tutorial section that gives you the basics, and then you pick up your gun and you start killing demons in some strange facility that I'm pretty sure is kind of a holdover from the fact that the game was supposed to be set in space and was originally conceived as a low speed, slower paced, a dark psychological horror game set on a space station where an astronaut would battle zombie-like enemies while descending into insanity. But, what we got is still fucking sick. So after beating 2 Cerberus at the end of 0-5, you enter Hell and are greeted to Layer 1, Limbo, which is a fake paradise. The trees are holograms, the sounds are coming from speakers. The sky, quote unquote, is just a box of screens showing you a paradise that you can't have. Hell, even the water is a hologram, but hey, at least the flowers and grass are real, so, then again, so are the enemies, and in 1-2, the place is burned to the ground, flowers included, so that's fun. Then in 1-3, you're in a castle that's really hard to P rank when, you're starting off, because it's like 5.5 minutes long, and if you die once, you have to start over from the beginning, because that's how P rank works. In 1-4, you find 3 skulls to open a door to the boss, only to realize you wasted your time, and you could have just broken the stained glass above the door just to fight yourself for 70 attempts, because V2 is hard. Because the fucker just won't stop moving, so you can't get any heals. Then in Layer 2, Lust, you're in this city, and it has this sick-ass opening where you're sprung out of this underground area to see a bright metropolis with a giant dude just looking down on it, shining its light on it, walking around in it, just looming over the entire city. And at each level, you're getting closer and closer to it. And in 2-4, you can do the single most badass and empowering thing I've ever experienced in a video game, where you can parry this giant motherfucker's punches. It's awesome. Layer 3, Gluttony, you're in this stomach with eyeballs and teeth that kind of reminds me of Lord Jabu Jabu's belly from Ocarina of Time, if you ever played Ocarina of Time. The boss fight in this layer is against Gabriel, like Gabriel from Bible, from the Bible. And he will quote Virgil Sparta from the Devil May Cry series of games for the duration of the fight. So that's cool. So starting with Act 2, Layer 4, holy shit, I gotta fucking sneeze. You gonna let out? Holy crap. So Layer 4 Greed is desert theme, and it does kind of the same thing that Lust did with that giant corpse, but instead it's with a pyramid. So at the start of 4-1, you see this shadow of this giant pyramid with these like human looking things coming out of it. In 4-2, you're right next to the pyramid, and 4-3, you're given this pyramid, you're in the pyramid, and you're given this torch to light the way. And there's a secret room with YouTubers in it, which is awesome. 4-4 is a rematch against yourself, and you defeat yourself while sliding down the pyramid, and the clone of yourself splats onto the ground, leaving only its whiplash behind, like its arm, it's like a grappling hook, but it's called whiplash, which is, it's a Metallica reference. Layer 5 Wrath has a water motif. The first level is this underwater cave leading into a base. 5-2 is this quiet walk in like a rainy sea, and it's got no music. You can just hear the sound of the rain and the thunder. And it ends with a mini boss fight against a skeleton in a cloak called the Ferryman, who has a stick that can summon lightning. Or, it doesn't if you pay the toll for the Ferryman and you toss a coin at him. He'll just open the door to the exit. Fun fact, another Metallica reference with this fight, if you toss a coin into his lightning, I believe, you'll get a style bonus called Ride the Lightning. 5-3 is a shit that, holy shit, it's like, I want y'all to know, I'm recording this at like 6 in the morning. It's kind of dark in here. Anyway, 5-3 is a shit that gets flipped upside down over halfway through. I really hope Y'all cannot hear that loud ass bird outside. I lost track in the script. Holy shit. My bad, y'all. Yeah, 5-3. It's a ship. It's a pirate ship. Maybe they get flipped upside down halfway through. It's freaking cool. 5-4 is a pretty okay boss fight against this game's version of the Leviathan that's made up of people, I think. Which is, metal as fuck. The entirety of Layer 6 Heresy is the first reminder that yes, you are in hell, and to quote Maxor, ULTRAKILL is the kind of game to give you a little bit of hell as a treat, even though it takes place in hell. It's a castle again, but this time it's got two colors, red and black. Like for the entire layer is just red and black. And what's that? Oh. So, correction, it's actually an adaptation of the city of Dis from Dante's Inferno, which, the game loosely takes locations from. I guess that would make sense. And also, side note, Hikita has never read Dante's Inferno, so I just want to let y'all know. So that's also another reason why it's so loose and not really like Dante's Inferno at all. It's kind of an adaptation of Dante's Inferno in name only. So 6-1 ends with Gabriel being gay. It's like half a joke because in a developer commentary stream, Hikita, the creator of the game, said that Gabriel is saying what you think he's saying right after Gabriel said the line, "Come to me." So, it's kind of gay. It's kind of not. Love you, Gabe. He said that before spawning all the enemies in the first wave of the last room of 6-1. Then in 6-2, Gabe's a little angry because he's got like 24 hours to kick your ass or something, but you beat him. And he's like, damn, I might have liked that. I gotta go think about it, machine. And he goes, sits at a campfire in a forest on the moon, and decides to kill the council that took the role of God. Because, I did actually forget to mention, in this game, God is dead. Well, that's what Gabriel believes. I agree. I agree. God actually just kind of dipped and didn't come back, so a bunch of angels decided that they were in charge. And after Gabe loses to you the first time around, they think he lost on purpose, because it's like, how the fuck did an archangel lose to some man-made machine? Boy, you crazy. And so they just they strip him of his holy light. Am I reading that right? Yeah, I am. And he has 24 hours to live. So he looks and he gets more pissed at the fact that not only was he humiliated by a machine, but the other machines are ravaging all of hell. So, pissed off, enraged at this, he lectures you in 6-1. He rematches you, loses, and then decides to take action and, kills the council, knowing that he'll die in a matter of hours. If he does, and because, there's going to be nobody left to, give him his holy light back. And then decides to, so he kills the council, and he, presents the head of one of the councilmen to the rest of heaven. And as of me recording this on February 25th at 6:23 a.m., I don't know what happens next. Now, maybe there's some stuff in the new layer that came out, but I'm not gonna play that right now. I'm gonna play some Final Fantasy 9, and then when I get back later, I'm probably then gonna play Fraud. But I haven't played it, and I probably won't spoil what happens. Anyway, back to the game itself. So you descend so you start Act 3, You descend into layer 7, violence. 7-1 is a maze or labyrinth, I'm not sure, that you don't really get lost in, but it's still cool. I mean, you fight a minotaur with some weird hammer. 7-2 is an active war zone with the earth movers in it, with like earth movers like in the background. They are giant walking cities that nearly cause the end of the world in the ULTRAKILL universe. 7-3 is a suicide forest where basically in Dante's Inferno, I think it was, there are, back in the day, suicide used to be considered like a sin because that's like throwing away the life that God gave you. So, in canon, God would like kind of cancel you for killing yourself by sending you to hell, and he could like turn you into a tree. So 7-3, you're like trying to feed the trees by like defeating these like little blood clone things that progressively become like, at first they're like one hits and they don't really like attack or anything. They're really slow, but by the end they're like 7 HP throwing projectiles at you. Like they're unexpected. And what the fuck? Is it raining or is that LouisF? So anyway, 7-3 is also symbolizing violence against the self, since this layer has decided to continue with, pulling more stuff from Dante's Inferno, which I, for one, have no complaints with. And 7-2 was violence against thy neighbor. 7-4 is violence against God, and the level starts by sliding out of some tight space, only to be greeted by a giant earth mover who is fighting another earth mover that stops what it was doing because it decided that you were the biggest threat, which is really empowering. Thank you. Oh my gosh. And this also makes sense since the creator of ULTRAKILL, Hakita, has stated that the robot you're playing as, V1, doesn't know the names of most of the enemies. For example, there are these yellow robots with these sword things for arms, and V1 calls them Swords Machine, as seen in their health bar when they're mini bosses. However, when the boss bar for the Earth Mover shows up, this is what happens when you record shit in one take. Earth Mover shows up. You see that V1 calls it 1000 THR Earth Mover. Its full name, implying that, V1 knows what it is, and maybe the Earth Mover also knows what it is, and probably is like, damn, I should be scared of that thing, because V1 is a, weapon of war. Also, 1000 is sen in Japanese, and given the Japanese writing scene on the, machine as you scale it, we can assume that it was made in Japan, at least this one. The THR could potentially be read as Tar, Centaur, which, goes well with the Minotaur in 7-1. Also, since the Earth Mover is shaped like a centaur. And one more thing before I stop pressing record here and I, start my day and I come back later to record my thoughts and feelings on fraud. The music is fucking awesome. If you take nothing from this, go listen to the music or maybe go watch a lore video. Linguini and Lasagna, have a good video on it. Has a really good video. You can just go to his channel and sort by most popular. I'll put a link to him in the description. Same with Maxor. It's not up to date with the newest layer, but it's up to date with violence, and it's still good. So if you're interested on getting up to date lore, I'm sure people are already releasing videos. Now, I'll be back after I've played the new layer to tell you how fucking awesome it is. So, like, I, I don't, I don't have the words. I finished. I played through Fraud. I did it. It's, I cannot put into words how absolutely amazing and how good these levels are. I genuinely, like, my jaw is on the floor. I'm talking without a jaw right now. It kinda hurts. I'm really sorry about my sniffles and my terrible smoker cough that I got going on. I got like shit in my throat and I'm like congested a bit, but Fraud, right? So I feel like I just got mind fucked, but like I got like mind fucked. Like my brain is like, oh dude. So remember earlier when I mentioned how ULTRAKILL would have been about a guy, like an astronaut, getting more and more insane? It's kind of like what playing this layer is like. But like, it's really, really good. Like it's so, dude, it is so fucking good. Oh my fuck, bro, it is, can you hear this? It is amazing. And let me holy shit. I'm sorry about the noise from earlier, but by the way, like the background noise, if it's still in there, if I didn't edit that out, I just got, yeah, I was just kind of sitting in my living room. I didn't feel like throwing a blanket over myself. No, I did throw a blanket over myself, and it didn't, like, work too well, but I was kind of in a rush to, like, I wanted to record it before, like, I started my day. So yeah, I do have shit to study for. I'm gonna do that right after I'm done recording this. But like 8-1, right? Like, let me just run through the levels really quick. I'm not on a script or anything, so it's gonna be a bit disjointed. 8-1. So you've seen all the shit from the trailers, and then you go and you play it, and you're like, there's a lot more here. And then you're like, hold on. What am I looking at? Why are you just showing me this? I thought you would have saved this for like the end of the game, for like the final stuff of the game, but no. There's some big revelations. I'm pretty sure. Nah, I'm getting ahead of myself. So just the shit from the trailer, like more 8-2, shit gets crazy with fucking journal entries. Yeah. I don't want to spoil. I really, like, if you really want to know what happens in this layer, you can either go play it or watch the countless videos or live streams that are coming out right now that are getting thousands and thousands of views. You know, like, I don't even know how my video landed on your feed. I'm gonna be real. I don't know how you're watching my video right now. Yeah, and I, right. So I finished 8-1, and I was like, oh my fuck, does it get better than this? Yeah. So 8-2 is like, again, more of what you saw in the trailers, but like, there's a lot more that we didn't see in the trailers, which is it is good. That is good thing. That is good thing. So you see all this shit, and you're like trying to wrap your head around it, and then you read lore stuff, and then you read the terminal entries on the enemies, and they have, of course, more lore for you, and it kind of unravels this mystery that you're getting more information, but there's still enough to like theorize about, where it's like we got these questions answered, but what about some other questions that I might be having? Why is this going on? Why is there this creature that, actually scares the shit out of me in 8-2? But moving on, 8-3 took me an hour to beat. Also, the reason why the P rank is about 16, 17 minutes, I didn't P rank, but just combined length of agreed P rank, is because it's a 1-3 type of level, and it's because it's a 1-3 type of level. Is there anything else? No. There's some crazy shit that happens in this level, and I think 8-2, and you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what the fuck? How? And then there's more. Because you finish 8-3, I finished 8-3 after like an hour, and then 8-3 has a journal entry that I'm pretty sure is telling you what the Prime Sanctum boss is gonna be. Fucking crazy. I'm looking at the timer. Dude, I gotta end this video. Oh, and 8-4 is just a really sick ass fucking boss fight. Like, it's so cool. It's so cool. It's fucking genuinely like it was a bit at first, but like, bro, I'm actually kind of like I'm like on the verge of tears, bro. That shit is amazing. This is like a once in a lifetime game, bro. I fucking love ULTRAKILL. Thank you for watching. And stay curious, I guess. No, I gotta get myself a catchphrase. Nah. Stay gaming. Stay fraudulent. And you have yourself an amazing day.